Summary lesson number 2. First, let's review that it's important to know the difference between summarizing a narrative text and an informative text. If you are summarizing a narrative text, you need to use the plot diagram, and if you are using an informative text, you need to use the same organizational structure as the author. When we talk about summarizing, it's important to note that it's part of the Utah Core Standards, which is being able to write an objective summary that uses textual evidence. We are going to do these 5 things today. It's quite a bit, so we're going to make sure we follow the same organizational structure as the author. We're going to identify the central idea and write a topic sentence. We're also going to distinguish between main ideas and trivial information. We're going to learn how to paraphrase, and then we are going to create our rough draft. So when you write an effective summary, meaning a summary that works well, you'll need these 7 things. Let me hide that so that you can see it a little bit better. And today what we're going to focus on is capturing the central idea and including only the main ideas. Where would that be at in the 6 traits of writing? It's going to be in main idea, right? Because you want to know the clear topic of a paragraph as well as the article, and you'll only include those clear topics in a summary, which is what this says. Include only the main ideas in your summary. It needs to be very, very brief. Effective summaries delete trivial information even if it's interesting. Don't give it to the reader if it's not a main idea and essential for them to understand. Summarizing does 2 main things. We delete the trivial information or the stuff that's not important, and then we paraphrase in our own words. There are 4 R's of paraphrasing, and I'm going to use this sentence to help me teach that. So the first one is reword using synonyms. If this is the sentence, the girl ran toward the mansion, if I was going to reword that, I would say the young lady sprinted towards the big house. So I still kept the same meaning, I just used synonyms to replace the words that were in the sentence. I would also rearrange words. I put towards the mansion, the girl sprinted. I've had some students put like the mansion sprinted towards the girl. That does not keep the same meaning, so it wouldn't work. Next, you need to realize that some words or phrases cannot be changed. So for example, I probably wouldn't change it to young lady because that sounds like it's like a older teenage girl versus a young girl. And so I just would delete young lady and only use girl. You also wouldn't be able to replace it with like she because that could be an old lady or a 2-year-old. It's too broad. You need to keep some words the same to make sure that you keep the same meaning, which is what the recheck stands for. Recheck that it's the same meaning over and over and over again, because people get in trouble for doing this when they paraphrase somebody and they think they have the same meaning, but actually they completely change the meaning. You can like go to jail for this. So make sure that you recheck and have the same meaning. Okay, so with if you were in the classroom, we would do this and have you stand up and look at the different main ideas of each passage, but we'll just do it on here. So this paragraph, I want you to push pause, read it, and then push play once you think you have the main idea. Okay, so the main idea of this paragraph is about the improvements of robonauts over the years. A lot of people will just say robonauts are robot astronauts because that's what it says in these first 2 sentences, but that's not what the rest of the paragraph is talking about. So it's really, really, really important that you make sure you get what the entire paragraph is talking about and not just the first part. Here's another one. Push pause, read it, and then when you feel like you have the main idea, push play. This paragraph is about the benefits and drawbacks of automation, not just that automation is where robots do people's jobs, because again, that's only at the beginning. The whole thing is talking about how it's good and bad. And then lastly, push pause. The robotics club needs to clean up after themselves or they could lose their meeting place. Yes, this whole thing is talking about how they need to clean up, but why do they need to clean up? Because they want to keep their meeting place. This is going to be on your summary rubric. It's number 3, includes only the main ideas. If you include only the main ideas, 3 out of 3. If you only include like one main idea, only 1. If you have some of them, you'll get a 2. Here is my article titled "Why Do We Say Hello" by Sarah McCary. What I did is I went through, I read a paragraph, and then I rephrased the main idea into my own words in one sentence. So this one is talking about why do we say hello when we answer the telephone. This paragraph is talking about before the telephone, the term hello was used to get someone's attention. This paragraph, in my own words, is talking about how Alexander Graham Bell was said to be the first inventor, but many were working on the telephone. This paragraph is talking about when phones were first invented, an operator would connect your call, but people didn't know what to say when the other people answered. This paragraph is talking about how ahoy was first suggested by Bell as the word to use to answer, but was quickly replaced with Edison's suggestion of hello. This paragraph is talking about how hello is the standard way to greet people on the phone. And this paragraph is talking about how things were different. We might say ahoy. All of those things are in my own words. Now, remember, a summary does 2 things. It paraphrases the information in your own words, but now I also have to delete the things that aren't important. The main idea of this paragraph is the reasons that we say hello when we answer the phone. I would probably get rid of this first paragraph because it's not necessary to understand the main central idea of the reasons why we answer the phone. I would also probably delete the paragraph that's talking about Alexander being the first person to create the telephone because that's not necessary for my reader to understand why we say hello when we answer the telephone. I deleted the stuff that wasn't important, and now I'm going to have you guys work on yours. I'll do the first 3 with you. Would You Marry a Stranger by Jessica McBurney. So it says, while they are unpopular in the United States, arranged marriages still exist in some places around the world today. An arranged marriage, as it's most commonly known, is one in which the parents select the spouse for their children. There are 2 different types of arranged marriages. The first is a forced arranged marriage, when the parents or guardians select a spouse for their child, and the individual child has no say in the decision. In the second type, the child is allowed to meet the selected spouse in advance, and perhaps go on a few family outings together before they have the power to approve or reject the parent's selection. The latter type of arranged marriage tends to be more common, especially in the 21st century. So I just put there are 2 types of arranged marriages, one where the parents choose, and the second the child can say yes or no. I deleted all of the unnecessary information and put it into my own words in one sentence. Now, I want you guys to go through, read this paragraph, and put your own paraphrasings into these boxes. Now that you have got all of the main ideas for your paper, we need to talk about what the topic sentence or the very first sentence of your summary needs to have. It has to have the central idea, the title, and the author, and that's because none of these ideas actually came from you. So you need to immediately tell your reader right off the bat, this is coming from this person, from this thing that they wrote, and this is what it's mostly about. And then they know everything else that comes after is not your ideas, but what was in that article that you read. So this is also going to be on your summary at section 1 and section 2. You just need to make sure that your topic sentence captures the central idea of the text and clearly states the title and author with correct formatting. The central idea is the main idea of the whole text, and it's usually found in the title or the first paragraph. Mine is going to be about the way that people use the word hello has changed because of the telephone for my article. That's my example. Now I need to add the title and the author in there. So I put Why Do We Say Hello by Sarah McCary is about how the way people use the word hello has changed because of the telephone. This is my example. I want you guys to now create your own and just make sure that you have in quotation marks, Would You Marry a Stranger by Jessica McBurney is about, and then tell me what you think that whole article is talking. Write your topic sentence and then come back. I took these sentences and added them right after my topic sentence. So delete the stuff that you don't need and then just copy those little boxes that you wrote your paraphrasing in and copy it on to your summary draft, either on your computer or on your lined paper, and then you should have your rough draft.